Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Tech Tuesdays with Trina. And last week we had so many difficulties with the technology, and we found out too that there's been a bunch of problems going on with Zoom, and I guess with all the kids going back to school and the online and the this and the that. So we are going to get right to actually, I'm going to restart from where we left off last week. On Tuesday, I had to shut it down because everything hung up. There was no clarity. No, even StreamYard was acting up. So let's get started with our Tech Tuesday. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. I hope that they do this in a better way soon. I mean, it's the same way with Zoom and every other platform. It's just kind of like on the crazy side, but we'll see. Can we get this rolling? And let's go ahead and there we go. Here we go. So we've been doing the Google series, and I've been excited about it because we always get a lot of everybody that knows me know that I've been a Microsoft girl for like years and years and years. And I kind of ignored Google to the degree of their Google Suite and the apps, but simply because, I'm a Microsoft person. And so obviously I got the Google Gmail account. Everybody has a Gmail account. But then I started to see in other arenas where people were using individuals were using Google to do a lot more, other things than just the Gmail. And one of the first things I got introduced to was the Google Drive, which I thought was a really cool idea. But before I dive in, with this show, I want to do our regular introductions. And that is, do invest in yourself, do learn new skills, do be empathetic, and do help others. And I encourage everyone to take notes while you are attending any of my events because I give a lot of information. But the reality is that if you don't take good notes, you can always revisit and rewatch the actual broadcast. So that's a good thing. So let's go back to where we started, Google series review. We talked about what Gmail is, the calendar. We've done Google Meets. Gmail, everybody recognizes that. That is the free personal email. And you can also create a low-cost business email account and it has no, it's not at Gmail, it's at your company name. And it's very cost effective, very much so for business startups. Great way to go. Then we talked about the calendar. That was very exciting. We showed you how to actually add your events to your calendar. And then also the software supports invitations. So if you're having any kind of event going on or you want to remind someone of a meeting, you can simply just send out a invite through Google Calendar and they'll get a couple emails, as many as you would like in terms of reminders. And they'll get the detail in that you can add attached files, you can add video links, you can anything that you would need for that event or meeting, you can add to that Google invitation. And everybody recognizes that all the major platforms that are sending out any kind of meeting appointments, they all ask you, do you want to add to your Gmail account? So it's universal. And then we went on to, okay, now we sent the invitation out, how we're going to host that meeting. We're going to use Google Meets. And you can conduct your virtual meeting right from the calendar invitation. So that was just like, that is just like the coolest thing ever. Now, let's talk a little bit about Google Drive. Google Drive is a free data storage service offered by the giant Google. It offers you up to 15 gigabytes of storage space that you can use to store important files, documents, pictures, and so on. It uses cloud computing technology, which means that your precious data is stored on one of Google's servers so that you can access it from anywhere you may be. That is in and of itself like the most important asset and resource of Google Drive. And what's really cool is that, it's free. You get 15 gigabytes of free space. How could you go wrong? So we're going to get started and take a look. All right, let's go ahead and share my screen again. And this time we're going to go to the entire screen so I can go to my Google. And I'm going to show you some of the ways that in which I use it. So here's my main. I have several Google accounts. And by the way, for each Google email address you get, you will have 15 gigabytes of space. And so as you can see over here, I'm going to go to my 9 dots, which are all the Google apps that are included totally free with your Gmail Google account. And so right here is the icon for Google Drive. So let's go ahead and go to Google Drive. And you will see the main menu for the Google Drive. Sorry about that phone ringing. And in that Google Drive, there's a couple of things that are going on. So you can set up Google Drive to save all your documents automatically on the Google Drive, or you can put the ones up there that you choose to have. It's up to you. Now, I want to go over the storage first because that's a big thing. Like you can see here that I've used 57.1 gigabyte of 100 gigabytes of space that I have purchased. When you set up your account, let's go ahead over to, let's say, Mr. T's account. It's one of my other Gmail accounts. And when I go to my Google Drive, you'll notice here that I've used 405 megabytes of 15 gigabytes. So that 15 gigabytes is what I told you comes with your Gmail account for absolutely free. That's a lot of space. I mean, look, I've got like 6 documents out there. And, I've only used up 405 megabytes. And yet I have 15 gigabytes. That's like having a quarter versus $1. So definitely you're going to be able to save a ton of information without having to make an additional purchase. So let's go ahead and take a look at mine. I'll go to the buy storage. And you will see right now I am on the 100 gigabytes. I pay $20 a year. And it is recommended if I want to enhance that I pay $2.99 a month or $29.99 a year. Now, for the 100, let's go switch back over to our other drive. And you will see, oops, there we go. Actually, I want to go to my Mr. T's. When I go over here to buy more space, you will see, come on, there we go, that you get 15 gigabytes for free. And the recommended upgrade would be $1.99 a month and $19.99 a year. So you can have multiple accounts over all of your email addresses, one for each email address that you have under Google Gmail. Then your next level, your next tier is 200, and then the last tier, well, not last tier, but the next tier listed is $9.99 a month, and you get 2 terabytes. So it's double this, it's more than double, it's almost triple. And notice down here the different extras that you get. So here, all you're going to get is the 15 gigabyte of storage. When you go to 100, you're going to get access to Google Experts, which if you're having any kind of difficulties, there are people to call. But I got to tell you, that's really not a major asset because you can just Google whatever problem you're having and you can get an answer to your question. It also has an option to add your family so that you can be on the family plan and extra member benefits. What are they? I guess you can look that up. I've never really looked it up. On the next tier, which is 200 gigabyte, 200 gigabytes of storage, you get the same thing, but you also get 3% back on anything you may purchase out of the Google store. Never really been to the Google store. I guess there's t-shirts and things like that you can buy. I really am not into that, so it would be advantageous for me. But if you have been to the Google store and you know what's, in the Google store, you're going to get 3% back. The next tier, which is 200 terabytes, you're going to get the same options, but you're going to get an extra, you're going to get a total 10% back. So you go from 3% to 10%, but you also get the storage space that you really, really need. And so while I have you, let's go ahead and see what this Google store is. What is Google Store? Never even really used it, looked at it. Okay. So Google Store. Oh, this is where you can buy your phone, a Google phone. So it's got a lot of little products out there. Look at that. Not bad, not bad. Let's see what else they got over here. Oh, all kind of little devices. Okay. So if you're into any of these kinds of things and you want to, like you need a new phone, I know the Google phone is really cool. And it's 5G and all that. But you can upgrade to any of these products. Look at that. So they got nice selection of things. I never even checked that out before. Probably won't again. But now that I know about it, if I choose to go ahead and decide on something else, I will definitely check it out. Okay. Got a little noise in the background. We ignore that. All righty. So we know what that is. So going back to our Google Drive. Oh, come on. Let's share again. There we go. So going back to our Google Drive, as you can see, here are a number of files that are already stored up there. But I want to start out after showing you what the storage space is. I want to start out how you actually use this. So you've got your search button. So if you know that you have saved a document out here, you can go right here in the area and you can search it. You could also search it by different applications through Google Suite. So if you were looking for just all your PDFs that you have loaded up there, you see I selected Google Suites and it's there. You can actually define that search. So if there's a specific person who actually made that document and sent it to you and you stored it up there, you can put in their name. You can also check anywhere. So you can even look in your trash to see if it ended up in your trash. The date it was modified. And of course, you can search it by name. Or if you want to search it by some words that are in that document, you can do that search. Or you can search it by whomever shared. So if you've been sharing it with some of your colleagues and you know that person got it, you can put their name in, and then that's who you shared it with. You'll be able to find it as well. So great tools within this actual program. Next is if you wanted to add a new document. So let's go ahead and click on New. Now you can create a folder under your Google Drive, which is highly recommended. If you go back to my all my documents, you will see let's go by my drive. Yeah, you'll see that I have several folders out here. So my access folder, I've got a zip file, my Ask TRINA files, my classroom files, my Microsoft Office backup. So plenty of folders out here that organize my data. And that's how you create that folder. So you click on folder and you can create a new folder. And it'll ask you to give it a name. And let's just do test, because I can always go back and delete it. Test folder for Tech Tuesdays show. And you click create. And that's as easy as it is. It'll automatically highlight that folder. And obviously I've done this. Well, actually I was doing this when the system crashed last week. But there's my test folder. If I double click on it, you'll see there's no files. However, I can easily load some files. So let's go and look on my desktop and see if I've got anything on there that I can easily just quickly drag right to there. All right, let's close out all this stuff. As you can see, I'm real busy working on a lot of different projects, so I got all this stuff open. So let's, okay, here we go, our Zoom link. I'm actually going to just drag that right over. And that's how easy it is to upload it. There it is right there. Keeps a copy on my desktop, and it puts a copy into my Google Drive. And I just dragged it right from. Let's go ahead and put my bio out there as well. So now I've got the bio. That's how easy it is to drag your files from your desktop, or if you had a flash drive or you wanted to put it somewhere in your, from some old flash drive or some old CD-ROM drive. Those things actually become non-usable over time because they kind of disintegrate. And so if you got some old CDs or you got some old flash drives or even DVDs, pull all that stuff onto your Google Drive, because then not only will you be able to access it from anywhere on any device, you'll also have a backup copy that is going to be usable. Because if for some reason the flash drive gets lost or stolen or damaged, you can't get the data off of it. It's impossible. And then the same thing with some of these DVDs and CDs. They actually, from just sitting there not being used, they just start to, crumble kind of. So do this as your backup. And that's how easy it is to do a folder. So let's go back to my drive, and you'll see that the folder is still listed there. And when I go click on it, there's my files there. So easy. Now, let's talk about Shared with Me. Shared with Me is a great tool. This you want to use if you have big files like MP4 files, or you've got a PowerPoint presentation that's got a ton of pictures in it, and it's a too big enough file to actually send via email. You can actually upload that file like I just showed you onto your Google Drive, and then you can share it to anyone that has an email address. So let's go ahead and pick one of these. So here's a resume. All right. So I can right click and look at all the options. I can preview it. I can open it with Google Docs. Let's say I don't have Microsoft Office and it's a Word document. You see the option is there for me to actually open it in Google Docs. And we're going to be talking about Google Docs as we progress in our Google series, and I will demonstrate how, great this program is to be absolutely free. Now, I can actually share this document. If I click on share, it'll ask me who the person is. So I would put their email address in. Let's go ahead and just share this to Rick. I can also send him a message while I am sending him this share. Okay. So let's say, actually, you know what? I'm going to go to Mr. Cheese Buster Run so you can actually see it as soon as I do it. This is a test for Tech Tuesdays with Trina on the Google series. So important. Okay. Now, what's really cool about this is I can do two things. I can get myself a link, or I could just send it just as it is. So we're going to do both. We're going to send it. Then we're going to click over quickly to our Mr. T's Busterant email. And we're going to hope it comes in right away. All right. While we're waiting for it to come in, I'm going to switch back over to my Google Drive and show you also how to create a link. So you do get a link, and it'll actually give you a link that generated uniquely for this file. And this is important if you're sending like a huge document to someone or a group of people, opposed to sending them the document attached or shared and they have to open it up and read it. They can just simply click on this link. Does it really save time? Well, it does if it's a big file. And you can actually restrict it. So you can make sure that no one else can access it without logging on to their email. And only the people in the link can actually see it, which gives you another layer of security protection. So you can simply click in there and add that only the people that you add to the link is going to be able to get this link and actually open it. So you click copy and it's actually been copied. Then I can go over to my Gmail, compose again to Mr. T's. I'm going to right click and put my link in there. Calling it the link demo. And I'm actually going to CC myself. I always, when you want to send something important and you want to ensure that the person got it, always blind copy yourself so that when that email gets sent out to them, it'll also get sent out to you. So I'm going to go ahead and send that link. Now, notice I get a pop-up. Some people need access to the file. All right. People without access won't be able to open the file. That's good. That's what I want. That's what I selected. So I'll hit send anyway. Now, if I go to my inbox, I will see that I've got that link. There's the link, and there's the actual document. So it made it into a link. I click on the link, and there we go. It opens up that email, that document. So cool. Now let's go back over to our. Let's see. Our shared link didn't come in. All right, let's go over to their Google Drive. And it hasn't been sent yet, which is a problem. We'll have to see why that isn't. I might not have that connection made or have that as one of my shared files. So we'll have to check that out later. All right, so that's done. Now, this works really, really well in order to send documents quickly, fast, and to groups. And if there are large documents, it makes a big difference. If for some reason in that document you had video or you had confidential passwords with that extra security on there, you're not going to have any problems with it. The next area is recent. So these are all the recent documents that I just did something with. That was my bio, my Zoom. And remember, this is on the T-Bird side. If I go over to the, and here it is. It finally came in. That was really long. So there's the document that I shared. So before I do, I want to show you. So when you open up that email, it says that you received a shared document, the following document. And at this point, I can just open it up. And again, there I have it. Same thing, same exact thing. But going back to here, I want to show you under my drive that it actually saved it in my Google Drive because I shared it, number one. Okay. And then when you go to see your recent documents, you'll see it that is listed there. Okay. So over on my other side, I want to show you, in addition to the drive of recent, I want to take a look at stars. So no starred files or folders. And these, when they get the star, it's like, let's say you're working on this big project and you got to go run an errand or you got to go into a meeting or you got to whatever. And you might need to bring that meeting up. In that meeting, you might need to bring that document up. You can star it so that it's right at the top. And if you can see my drive, you see all this stuff. So if I star it, it'll be right up at the top so that I can see it and get quick access for it, especially if I'm in a meeting. Next on our list is the trash. So I've got a lot of stuff out here I need to just get rid of. And these are all copies. But I have to tell you, last week when I was preparing for this, I saw all of these T-Bird live shows that I have done. You know, look at that. These are 2016, 2017. I've been doing these kinds of information shows for such a long time. And I thought I had lost these. So I put them somewhere, and I'm going to have to probably download them to play them. But I had tried to get rid of them and didn't realize that they were still out here. And this is old. Look at that, 2017. So I'm glad I found them so that I could do a restore, and I could actually, have access to them. And it's the same thing with, these PDF documents. They're still there. The video, those are videos. So I'm going to have to download them to take a look at them, which we only got like a minute left on the show, but you get the idea. And so until you delete it out of your trash bin, it will remain there. And be mindful that this storage area in trash is also going to be reflected in your storage that's available for you to use. So if you know that you have some things in there that you truly, truly want to get rid of, you can just click on them, go over here and hit the delete button, and it will get rid of all of them for you, each one that you select. So in order to select them all at one time, you can just hold your shift key down and then highlight them all like that, and then hit the delete key. I'm not going to do that because I really don't know what I wanted to delete. Some things, like I said, I found I wanted to keep. And so there you have it. This is such a cool program. You can also customize your settings. You can get your sync your devices to your Google Drive so that not only can you access them, but your team can access them too. So you can definitely set up your settings to whatever it is that you want. You got a little help support here. That's that support they were talking about. If you buy the higher version, they'll give you support. I think with the 200 gigabytes, you get, let's see, I think let's see. You get that, you get that with the 100 gigabytes. So that's a support. That's actually where you go to get it at. So when you click on support, they'll give you help with whatever, and they'll send you feedback. People will tell you, but you can still Google stuff like that, so you don't have to worry about it at all. Trust me, I wouldn't buy it just for that purpose at all. And so down here, I've got my status of the two I've just uploaded. I can close that out at any time or click on them to open, to view, and modify. And so there you have it. This is Google Drive. And Google Drive is not only a cool storage device, it helps you do great file management. You can organize in any way that you would like by creating project folders. You can sort them in any way that you want. And it's just a great way to have access to files that you may need when you're on the go. And a lot of people are afraid of putting all their data up there on the cloud because they think it's not protected. But this thing is so wide open these days. Even your cell phone, they can log in, tap into your computer. If it's it's always going to be hooked up to the computer. To the internet, so they can tap into your computer directly without even having to go to your cloud. So either way, you're open to this stuff being, in my opinion, accessed by whoever wants to get it. But you also can put in those extra security measures to make sure that certain things don't happen unless you want them to. But now you have it. Now you know what Google Drive is. I would definitely suggest you start using it. And if you find that you're going to need more storage, go ahead and pay by the month. By the year, because you save a few dollars. As you can see, that's $20. If you do it times 12, you're going to be paying $220 more. So here you're going to save at least $20 or $30 if you pay. Actually, no, that's $40. Yeah, because 10 at $1.99 is going to be $20. I'm sorry, $20 a month, a year. So you're definitely, going to save those two extra payments of $2, $2, that's $4. So you're going to save $4. As you get up, then you get 20 and 40, whatever. So definitely, start using it. It's a great tool. I'm telling you, Google is on, it is just off the charts with all the services. As you can see, we're going to be doing this series for quite a while. We've got so many different apps that are available. And in this Google series, I'm going to be going through every single one of them. And so far, we've done Gmail, Google Drive, Google Calendar, and Google Meets. So before I get into the Duo and the news and all those things, I'm going to want to next week start talking to you about Google Docs and Google Sheets. We're going to get to Google Classrooms. It's just unbelievable the things we're going to be talking about. So you want to stay in tune with this series and, just learn as much as you can about using this free platform for so many different things. And you just, you got to know this stuff because companies are getting in tune with these free services as well, or the business services that are very inexpensive and nowhere in comparison to what you spend on putting Microsoft Suite, Office Suite on all of your computers in a large company. So people are using Google as its replacement, and Google's doing a really good job. So there we have it. We're 4 minutes late, but I can't tell you how exciting it was to bring this information to you. And I so look forward to the next edition of Tech Tuesdays with Trina. But I also want to remind you of our Wednesday broadcast, which is Wednesday webinars for women. So definitely check us out. We're doing our Circle of Success broadcast, and that has been very, very, I'm so proud of that particular project that I'm working on, only because of the fact that it is really, it has really been, well received. And it's also been an asset to our group of women that are following this series. And just to give you a little sneak peek, we're going to be talking about, we're on session 6, and we're going to be talking about, not going to tell you. Got to tune in and find out. How about that? Not going to tell you. All right, so let's go ahead and close out. Knowledge is useless without a good execution. And I have to tell you that this show is being brought to you by Ask Trina, hashtag Ask Trina, T-Bird Live, and T-Bird Live with Rick Z. So definitely tune in and let us know how you like these broadcasts, if they're effective. Constructive criticism is a good idea. Just let us know. And we can also do a topic that may be of interest to you as well. And so we are looking forward to your interaction, comments, and most importantly, benefiting from all that we do on these broadcasts every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. We have a special guest coming on Thursdays with Rick and Trina. Kind of changed the name a little bit. We're still going to be doing our business and career tips on there as well, but we're going to have a special. We're going to be doing our special guest that you'll be quite interested in listening to. And so we look forward to seeing you tomorrow at 10:30. I'm going to be a little late in my broadcast tomorrow at 10:30, opposed to 10 o'clock, and maybe 10:15 because I'm on another important workshop that I have to present. And then on Thursday, we will be right on time at 10 o'clock. We're also going to be doing some of our pop-ups. So we're going to be doing pop-up interviews, and that could come on at any time with our Facebook Lives with StreamYard.com, where we're going to just have pop-ups, and you'll never know who's coming to talk to you and provide you with great information. So be on the lookout. Follow us on Facebook Live. Follow us, because every time we do something live, you'll get the trigger to tune in. So thank you, and I appreciate you tuning in. I'll see you tomorrow at 10:30.